If you or a family member have been hurt because of the careless actions of another person, call Walker Texas Lawyer. They'll work to get you the financial compensation and justice you deserve. They have 40 years of experience, and you don't pay unless you win. Call 713-881-9653 today for a consultation or go to walkertexaslawyer.com.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias.
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What looking to talk to me funny, lad.
Grammy Award winner Maya joins us.
How are you?
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat, Brad Gilmore.
Hey, join me right now. He's the star, the man who plays Bilal Irving in the movie Warrior Strong. Jordan, how's it going, man?
Brad, I'm hanging in, man. I'm honored right now. First of all, CW39. 39 is a very important number because that's where I grew up. Like, that's the house, the street name and number of where I grew up. So this is good SIPA right now. I'm good, man. How are you?
Oh, I like that, man. We're off to a good start, brother. Well, hey, first off, congratulations on the movie. Great film. I really enjoyed it. As a sports fan, especially a basketball guy, this one really did it for me.
You know, I grew up playing basketball, and my childhood friend and assistant on the film and trainer, Franklin Phillip, shout outs to my team, Jazz Night Studios. They're in the cut right now, but we wanted to play ball for the Lakers, for the Raptors growing up. This was that for me. It was reliving that dream in a kind of, you know, metaphysical way, and it was truly a dream come true. I can't complain, and I'm still pinching myself, man. I'm on ESPN Houston. This is, you know, dreams come true.
Wait, so tell me how this came about, though. How's the movie land, or how's this script land? How's this idea land in your orbit?
So it landed in my orbit 2022, at the beginning of 2022. I worked with Nicholas Tabarrok, the producer of this film, but he also produced The Retirement Plan, which is in theaters right now, with Nicolas Cage. So he had given me that part in that film. I guess he loved the work, and he, you know, said, "Hey, Jordan, there's this part that you'd be great for." He didn't talk about any auditioning, so I'm like, this is pretty good. And there we go. I'm on the Zoom call a year and a half ago with Shane Belcourt and Nicholas, and there we go. We got the direct offer, and I'm on ESPN promoting it right now.
Wait, so that's always got to feel good when they give you the offer. Like, not
dude, that's been my right. That was my second direct offer, but the first one doesn't really count. This one was like, you know, this is a leading starring role, man. So yeah, I was crying, but I was definitely kind of like Denzel telling Will Smith for Ali, don't mess it up. You get this responsibility, you better come with it.
And you do, man. I got to give you that. I mean, if there's any hesitation about it, you came through and came correct with it. Now, when you looked at the script and you realized the casting choices start getting in there, when did you find out you're going to be working opposite Andrew Dice Clay?
Ooh. At first, so I don't know if I can talk about who else they had, you know, working in the negotiation to get that part for Schmidt. And I was just, anybody they were naming were like celebrity people. I'm like, I'm working with this person. And then when they said Dice, I was like, yo, this is the guy. He did Blue Jasmine. He did Vinyl. He, you know, this guy has a resume that people don't really realize because he's stand-up comedy guy. You don't think he has those chops, and then you see him in Star is Born, you think again. So when I found that out, I was just like, Jordan, this is a real movie. Get ready.
It is a real movie, man. And when you have, like you said, Dice, people think of, the dirty nursery rhymes and the O and the kind of Elvis hair and things like that, right? But man, even I was talking to Shane when we had him on the show, even when Dice played himself in Entourage, you saw him have these real dramatic chops and be able to balance the comedy with what the scene needed to be. And so I thought he was such a great choice for this character. Now, Shane did tell me there was a lot of improv and that he allowed for, as he called it, a lot of jazz in y'all were shooting. How did you feel like not only, okay, boom, I got this starring role, opposite Andrew Dice Clay, who's known for these comedic chops. Did you think I got to bring this comedy and these improv moments with one of the great comics?
Brad, I'm getting chills right now because I can see how passionate you are, and I'm equally the same. So yes to all of those things. Quick story, because I know we got 15 minutes or however long we got left, but I met him. We had talked on the phone before. He's like, hey, Jordan, Andrew Dice Clay. So I'm like, this is it. So we chopped it up on the phone for about 2 hours. And then when we actually met in Sault Ste. Marie on set, I go into his trailer. First off, this guy gives me his trailer. He gives me his like big RV trailer because he's like, nah, you get it. You're gonna be on set. So he starts off like that. Okay, go inside. He has his unlit cigarette, and I feel his presence. I feel his aura, and I'm like, dude, you are, sorry for my language, an effing legend. You know what I'm saying? And you feel it. So we start getting into the improv, and yeah, it was like I had to throw out all the rehearsal that me and Shane did. And I was just like going off of what he was doing. And that's what you see on the screen is true magic, man.
Yeah. And I felt like it wasn't a forced chemistry there. I felt like y'all really vibed out and you could, and then I was telling this even to Shane, just the chemistry between the characters felt like a lived in experience. Like there was this history that we didn't get to see on screen, but we could feel it through the connection the characters had.
100%. Yeah, I'm telling you, and that's what Dice kept saying. He's like, Jordan, listen, it has to be real. Like, it's either you got it or you don't. Like, there was no acting with Dice. It's just, I can truly say he made the experience legendary. And literally, I remember Shane telling me, like, some of the crew were saying while we were filming, we're making a real movie. And I think, again, going in, you just have this misconception of like, okay, it's just like a little basketball movie, but Dice brought it, and I brought it, and then the basketball teams and the kids, they all brought it too. So it was like, what are you gonna do if you have people that are coming with like really good performances? You gotta give it some respect. So yeah, I'm truly tipping my hat off to everybody that was involved because it took a team effort for sure.
Now, you said growing up, you were thinking Lakers, you were thinking Raptors, you were thinking all these kind of things. Now, what is your game actually like? Wow. Do you have a nice little game?
So yes, the one thing I struggled with growing up was my handles, because I wanted to dunk. That got all the attention, So I was a dunker. And so I never put in that, Steph Curry workout plan with the tennis balls. I never did that. So my game was good enough to go to like a college in the States. I just didn't want to pursue it. I wanted to pursue acting. So I was actually like going down that path for basketball stardom, and I actually played with Corey Joseph, who's on the Detroit Pistons. He's on the Detroit Pistons right now, right? Yeah, he's on the Detroit Pistons. So we played AAU basketball. That's considered like that's equivalent to Canadian like SBA basketball. So yeah, no, man, it was definitely like I could have been there too. Maybe at the very least, I would have been in the G League. I think at the very least.
Okay, so your game's pretty good, man. Your game's pretty good. Yeah. Now, when you were saying Dice was telling you it's got to be a real guy, or we got to have this lived in experience, or whatever the quote was, did you base below on anybody? Because again, being somebody who follows the league for as long as I have, there are a few guys who, when I saw you on screen, we've heard this story, where they, for whatever reason, have a tumultuous time in the league. They go overseas, they try to rehab their image and come back and make it on a team. Was there any guy that you maybe based this on? Was there several influences? I don't know, where did it kind of come from?
Great question. I grew up with some really grassroots coaches, shout outs to Sid Buchau, Leon Francis, DeVoe Joseph, DJ David Joseph, Corey Joseph's father. He was my coach growing up. So that's more so because Bilal is a coach, right? Or he turned into a coach. So that's where I wanted to start more of coaching the game. And then to get that aspect of, like you said, that Stephon Marbury leaving the league, going to China, becoming this big star. That's what made it real for me. I'm like, these are Franklin, the guy in the cut right now. He has a friend that works professionally in the league overseas. So, people do this all the time, man. They don't make it to the NBA, but they have like full lives, basketball careers outside of like the NBA. And what a better story to redeem this guy's character, to go back to this small town and be like, yo, we're going to do it. I'm a big star. Don't need to be here, but I'm going to humble myself to show you guys the way. I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully it does.
No. Yeah. 100%. Now, going back to Shane, and Shane telling me like he let y'all, cook, for lack of a better term, gave you that ability to have the jazz and the improv. How paramount was his direction to this film and your performances? Did his style really complement what you wanted to bring to the role?
Shane Belcourt was probably the most hands-on, brilliant, hands-off director that I've ever worked with in my life. He knew exactly what he wanted. He understood the vision. This movie ultimately is about redemption and acceptance. And Shane told that story so seamlessly. Stepping into this, you can probably kind of gauge this. As much as I am very confident, I'm still very I'm still very figuring it out, and Shane walked me through the process. We had rehearsals. Dwayne Murray was the acting coach for this film, coach for Rachel McAdams. He was the coach on this film as well. So walking me through every process of it, and allowing the fans, like all the extras, all the basketball players from, the ones that were on the bench and the coaches, he was very particular in allowing everybody to be their full self, and constantly told people that this is your movie just as much as it's mine or anyone else's. And everybody felt that. And that's what a movie's supposed to be, I think that's why these movies back in the day, the extras are so good, because they were really thinking they were in a movie with a big star, So yeah, that's how it was.
Yeah, man. In the same way from a team, it all starts with the coach, right? If you look at Phil Jackson being the Zen master, it's why everybody felt, a part of those championships, and not like they were playing for somebody, they were playing with somebody. And that seems to be what you had with Shane. And I also feel, just from this short time that we've been talking, that that timing is everything. Right. And this role came to you at the time that you were ready for it and ready to take it on. And it just so happens to be coming off a time to where a show that you're intimately involved with is like the #1 streaming show in the history of streaming now, with Suits. How wild is that for you, just the timing of all of that?
4 times now. You've given me chills 4 times. It's incredible, because it's funny how shows blow up again. And I feel like it's refreshing, but it's also man, no, this show was really good. And I see why Suits was, on that Mount Rushmore, so to speak, of top TV shows, because I'm rewatching it now. It was sleek. It was different. It had this dialogue and the banter that people really kind of got into. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's fun. It's great for the movie now, and great for everything else that we're doing.
Wait,
no
man,
complaints.
You made a great movie. I encourage everybody to go out there, see it, support it, stream it, do whatever you got to do to watch Warriors Strong. Jordan, thank you so much, man, for taking the time. It was a pleasure to chop it up with you. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate it. Much blessings. And until next time, man, I'll come even more prepared. Your questions were incredible. Okay, well, till next time, man. Take care, brother.
Hurry up, tape running out.